So as the mixed kids in my family got older, being part Japanese started to form their identities, although it made me wonder why they identified as a mathematical equation and split themselves up into fractions. For years growing up in the 80s, I searched for a sense of community, being a blend of Japanese and European descent. Especially after that time in grade 2, when I took sushi to school for Multicultural Day, and everyone else brought cookies and cupcakes. Not even the teacher tried my mom's sushi. To add insult to injury, a bully told me to go back home on my boat. Sure, I'm 4th generation Canadian, but with everyone constantly asking me what I was all the time, I started to question my Canadian identity. However, my perceptions about identity shifted in grade 5 when I learned about the Métis. The Métis are descendants of marriages between Canadian Aboriginals and European settlers who came here in the mid-17th century. Similar to Mestizo, who are a mix of native Latin Americans with Spanish settlers, who now actually make up the majority of the Central and South American population. Since these groups of mixed people had something to call themselves, I also longed for a word that I could use when people asked me what I was. Sure, I can say I'm Canadian, but they're really asking to hear my mathematical equation of half Japanese, 1/8 Scottish, 1/8 English, 1/8 Russian, and 1/8 German. For a while I tried using the term Eurasian, but that was too specific. Halvesy and Hafu seemed too fractioned, but a few years ago, I discovered the word Hapa. Hapa was a blessing after years of being called a half-breed and a mutt. Hapa is the Hawaiian word for part or mixed blood, and was used with the phrase hapa haole to describe someone who is part Hawaiian and part foreigner. After World War II, many Chinese and Japanese living in Hawaii started using hapa to describe their mixed kids, and eventually brought the word to California, where 1/3 of all the mixed Asians in the US lived. Hapa evolved into a term used to describe anyone of mixed Asian or Pacific Islander descent, and was adopted by millions of mixed Asians in North America. Finally, there was a word that everyone could agree on to describe their beautifully blended backgrounds. I finally felt a sense of community. Now all we needed was a Hapa Heritage Month. However, some native Hawaiians felt that the word had been wrongfully appropriated since it was never meant to describe anyone other than Hawaiians. So recently, many Asian Americans agreed and stopped using the term. For me, I was back to where I started. Or was I?